Welcome into Coleman Coliseum. It's SEC versus Big 12. Number 4 Alabama versus number 24 West Virginia. Thanks for joining us today on the SEC Network on this Valentine's Day. I'm Hannah Chalker alongside 4-time NCAA champion Ashley Miles-Grieg. And Ashley, both of these teams in similar situations heading into this matchup. What do you think about it?
I think it'll be a good matchup for both teams tonight. You have West Virginia looking to take advantage of this environment that Alabama provides and hopefully break that 196 team score, whereas Alabama just lost against Auburn by .025. Coach Duckworth saying that the goal tonight is for each athlete to collectively build off that .025 from one competitor to the next.
And there you see the head coach. It was the first time in 36 years, 117 meets that they had lost to Auburn. Let's take a look at the starting lineups on the vault. You will see a new face leading off for Alabama. Abby Armbrecht making her competitive debut. Keely McNear, the junior, usually leads off, but Coach Duckworth told us she wants to get some new faces and get some more experience with those younger gymnasts in the leadoff position. And of course, the senior Lauren Beers will be the anchor.
And of course, Alabama always a good vault team every single year. This team no different. Tonight, we really want to look to see how many stuck landings they can get. That'll definitely get that .025 that they're striving for every competitor tonight.
There you see Abby Armbrecht. This will be her Alabama competitive debut.
She does the ever so popular Yurchenko full and starts them off nice.
She competed in 2 exhibitions at UCLA and Kentucky. A nice start by the freshman.
Absolutely, that's a good debut for her. Team is happy with that vault. And Coach Duckworth says that it's not the biggest full that they have, but she's consistent. And I think she just showed that there for that first vault.
At the helm of West Virginia is Jason Butts in his 5th season as a head coach. Like Coach Duckworth, he's worked his way up from a volunteer assistant coach, led the Mountaineers to a 2nd place finish last year at the Big 12 Gymnastics Championship. Robin Bernard is getting things started off for the Mountaineers.
So far, good start. Already have done her big release move there. And typically what you like to see in that first position is your most consistent athlete. A little short on the handstand there. Judge is going to take a little bit of a deduction for that. Giant full, immediate double tuck. Chest a little low on the landing.
Back over on the vault, Mackenzie Brannon, sophomore out of Austin, Texas. She got her gymnastics experience from Capital Gymnastics Club.
Yep. One of the athletes on Alabama's team of multiple that has the ability to do the Yurchenko 1.5 twist, making it extra difficult. Landing blind. Very dynamic vaulter. She's got pretty lines. One-and-a-half twist, a little short on that landing, and you'll see a little bit of a deduction with the leg bend at the end. Watch here, she makes her entry, a little bit of a leg bend right there just to get it around, and has to fight real hard to stay over her toes on that landing, but she comes through with that difficult 1.5.
Bars lineup. We saw Robin Bernard leading up. Next off is Tiara Wright, the freshman. That she is debuting a brand new bars routine, Coach Butts told us.
At this point, midway through the season as well, that's not something that you often hear too much of making changes. We'll see how she does with this new bar routine. Shaposhnikova to start off with, a little bit of leg separation. That's an immediate overshoot handstand. Transition to the high bar. She'll get some combination bonus for that. Stalter. Immediate double tuck dismount. Trying to go for that stick, but just a little bit over rotation. Solid routine for her. Take us another look at this dismount here. She does get up in the air nice and just has to fight.
Up next on vault for Alabama is the usual leadoff spot. That's Keely McNear in the number 3 spot. She usually leads the Tide.
Yes, she does. She's led them off all year. So good opportunity for her to maybe improve on her score. As you see there, a stuck landing. The judges will take a little bit of a deduction because of the low chest on that vault. But the stuck landing doesn't lie. She did not move. So here she gets good amplitude on the vault, and she fights for that landing, chest down a little bit, but that'll be a big score.
She's averaging a 9.811. Her career high is a 9.9.
Next on bars for West Virginia, Zakira Muhammad.
There's Zakira Muhammad, the sophomore, up next on bars.
Has done a good job for this team all year. Just a simple mount from the back, big release move. Such Kachev, that is a requirement to have a single release move. She transitioned. Try to hit every handstand, doing a good job of that. Double layout, dismount, and a huge landing. They've got to be happy with that routine from her.
She's averaging a 9.79 on bars this season.
So here, once again, the first big dismount from this team. Double layout, very, very clean lines, nice position in the air, and just drills the landing.
Jenna Brissett, another freshman. There are 6 freshmen on the Alabama team, and she is a very consistent one for them. She has the biggest Yurchenko full on the team, Coach Duckworth says.
And you see it right there, and she nails and drills that landing, and she's excited with that. That was a beautiful vault. Watch how much height she gets here. Legs glued together, good body position, even opens it up to spot that landing.
Oh, smiles there by Jenna. Over on the bars is Jackie Tunn. This was a day of decision for Coach Butts.
Yes, it was. Just playing around with the lineups, trying to see how these athletes warmed up. And he talked actually a little bit about that. And he was scared that they warmed up almost too good.
He told us they warmed up so well that he was nervous. He likes when they get everything out, all the mistakes and missteps in warm-up. So we'll see if that warm-up pays off.
So far, this bars lineup has built from one routine to the next. Putting together a nice routine. A little short on some of the handstands, but the difficulty level for this routine is there. She's getting all of her bonus. Gearing up for that dismount, double layout. And again, nice landing, good position. Blind change into her single release move there. She'll get some bonus for the combination. Double layout, nice landing. A little bit of a deduction because she didn't stay in that spot, but body lines were clean.
We're getting some scores in. 9.850 by Jenna Brissett as Kiana Winston gets set for her vault.
Not somebody that we've seen in the vault lineup very much this year, but has a big vault and has been training very hard. And as you see there, happy that she's in the lineup tonight. I'm sure Coach Duckworth is happy with that vault.
The first season that she has done vault, and Coach said she's training so hard.
And she just proved, I think she might have just earned a spot in the lineup with that vault. A very powerful athlete. You see we almost lose her in the picture there watching the replay from that angle. She gets so high. A little bit of a pike down, but that's easily fixed.
Beautiful fall. On bars for West Virginia, Alexa Goldberg, one of West Virginia's top athletes, according to Butts. He's one of their most consistent on the all-around.
A little bit of a different mount there. She kind of runs underneath the low bar. Nice release move. A little bit of leg separation in that transition there. Just the dismount left. Nice double layout, drills the landing.
More scores in. Tunn with the 9.85 on bars before Goldberg.
I think West Virginia is enjoying this crowd. They put together a nice bar lineup.
And Lauren Beers senior, will anchor out the vault for the first rotation. She's averaging a 9.857 this season.
Of course, everyone remembers her season high this year, 9.95 against Kentucky, where she drilled this. She also does the more difficult vault, a Yurchenko 1.5 with that blind landing. And when she's on and sticks this, it is a huge vault. There are no deductions. There's the 1.5.
A little misstep.
Just a little bit of mishap. She was really going for that landing, a little off center, and had to take a couple stutter steps back.
What will the deduction look like on that misstep?
It'll probably be a significant deduction on that vault, unfortunately. A little off to the side and just kind of comes out a little early and has to take a few steps back. As you see there, really nice position. Just doesn't quite have enough rotation today.
And Jordan Gillette in the anchor spot on bars. Sophomore. West Virginia has another young team as well.
Yes, they do, but typically that last person in the lineup is your strongest worker for that event. Watched her warm up and did a really good job. Oh, Ginger there, and she really just doesn't get the amplitude, almost doesn't really come up to the height of the bar and has to let go. See, right here, she just doesn't quite get both hands over the bar, and she'll have 30 seconds to remount the equipment. So she'll take her time, rechalk up and gather herself. And in this situation, when you have your anchor, you really want her to finish and give nothing else away. Hack salto, very difficult transition there. So she would have loved to have been able to complete that without the fall, but doing a good job finishing up this routine. A little short on that handstand. Giant full into a double tug.
A little messed up there as well.
And she looks a little disappointed in that. But the 5 competitors ahead of her all did a very good job of hitting their routines, so they will not have to count that fall.
First rotation of 4 down, and we will be talking with Coach Dana Duckworth next. We will have final scores of the first rotation for you as well.
Leading off the lineup.
Yes, we've been trying to get some more faces out there, and Abby's trained well, so you know it's about getting more depth. And it was just a fun time to see the changeup. It's a great meet and opportunity to do it, and I just want to build off this. Build. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, what's the goal for this next rotation for the team? What's the message?
It's to stay strong and to nail those landings and handstands.
Great, thanks, Coach.
Back to you, Abby.
Thank you, Ashley. Still waiting on some final scores for the first rotation. West Virginia is averaging a 9.60 to a 9.8 on bars, and on vault for Alabama, 9.825 to a 9.9. We'll have more from Alabama and West Virginia when we come back. In the touch period right now, as we take a look at the West Virginia vault lineups led by Robin Bernard, Amanda Bowman, followed by Sarah Moore, Jada Lawrence, Zakira Muhammad, and Kira Koshinki.
Yeah, Sarah Moore is a freshman. She just competed her first Yurchenko of the career last meet that they had against Oklahoma. Coach Butt said she's a taller gymnast, has really nice lines, and is really looking forward to her debuting that again tonight.
5'6", that is tall.
That is tall for a gymnast.
There are 5 SEC teams in the top 10. Number 2, Florida is at the top of that list. Alabama at 4, but that could change with the loss to number 8 Auburn on Friday.
Absolutely, this is one of the toughest conference in college gymnastics, as with so many other sports. But like you said, top 5 teams in the top 10. That's amazing. Auburn was able to snap that streak against Alabama last week. Then you had several upsets actually in the SEC. So the gap amongst all the teams is getting closer and closer every single year. So you'll probably start to see a lot more upsets within the next few years in this conference.
We were talking atmosphere-wise. The atmosphere is incredible here in Coleman.
Yeah, this West Virginia team, you know, looking to kind of build off of that environment. We've got a good crowd on a Sunday, which is unusual. It doesn't happen very often for Alabama to compete on a Sunday, but they packed the house here on Valentine's Day.
Well, in the series history, West Virginia has never beaten Alabama. Alabama leads 5-0, and the last time they came here to Coleman Coliseum was in 1997. And Coach Butts was here during that meet as well because he's been with the Mountaineer team. But a long road there with Alabama leading West Virginia.
Absolutely, and West Virginia, I think, really, you know, trying to break that team score of a 196 that has kind of eluded them this whole year. They've been close a few times, and both times they were close to that 196 were on the road. So this could be an opportunity for them to get that score.
West Virginia, 48.875.
On the bars against Auburn. Alabama did do well. Sophomore Katie Bailey led the way with a 9-9. Hopefully we can see the same kind of thing here today. I know Coach Dana Duckworth will want that.
Yes. Coach always talked about the level and the number of athletes that she has to choose from. The depth of this Alabama team this year is incredible. I don't think we've really seen the same lineup twice for one meet.
Coach Duckworth. They're all smiles for her team. But back over at the vault, Robin Bernard will get things started off. She got her experience from Hills Gymnastics Club, the same club as volunteer assistant Dia Haley.
Has the ability to score a 9.825. That is her career high. Watched her warm up, and she's got a pretty big vault. Layout half. Very difficult because of the blind landing, and she just drills it. That's going to be a good start for them. Big smiles there from her teammates and her. A little bit of a leg separation in the front of the horse, as you'll see here on the replay, but gets good amplitude, square with the vault, and just drills that landing.
Over on bars, Mackenzie Brannon usually in the anchor position, but Coach Duckworth is switching things up today. She will lead off.
And she is leading off because of that one very, very popular word that we hear so much in gymnastics, consistency. Has the ability to score very high, but in this first spot, she should still be able to score high because her gymnastics is so beautiful. So far, hitting all of her handstands. Big amplitude on her release moves. Gearing up just for the dismount left. Double layout. And nails it. I think she's proven that she can start off or close out a rotation. Double layout, and you see Dana's reaction there. She's happy with that. She's one of the more animated coaches in college gymnastics. Love seeing her reactions when her athletes perform well.
Amanda Bowman on the vault. Sophomore from Charleston, West Virginia.
Yurchenko full, gets lots of distance from the table. Doesn't really have quite the amplitude.
She was another day of warm-up position, and I think Coach Butts was happy with her warm-up.
That's right. Comes into the horse. She's always almost turning a little bit, as you can see, when she's coming onto the horse. But, you know, overall, good vault for her.
He says she has the rare combination of flexibility and power, which not all of his gymnasts have. Next up on bars for Alabama is Ari Guerra. She's averaging a 9.850 this season.
Simple hop up in between the bars there for her mount. Line change to a Jaeger straddle. Overshoot to handstand, and really, really doing a good job. She'll try to get every single handstand that she can. A little short there on that one. Double layout dismount. Again, spots that landing. Very nice. Really cranking up those dismount, those giants before the dismount. Double layout, just the slightest hop back and a little leg separation.
9.875 for Robin Bernard on vault. As Sarah Moore gets set, she's averaging a 9.775 this season.
Just completed her first one of these. Not probably quite what she wanted, but good form. I can see what Coach was talking about when he says that her lines are very long. She's a really pretty gymnast to watch. Just to hear her entry is really nice. Very good position, and really she just was going for that landing and kind of ping-pongs it, lands straight-legged.
She's
good
another
ball otherwise.
Tall gymnast as well, 5'6". Senior Lauren Beers is up next on bars.
And she initially for this meet, Coach Duckworth said wasn't really scheduled to go in, and she was just going to kind of have her just in case, but threw her in the lineup tonight. And doing a good job.
She's the rock of this team, Coach Duckworth told us. She's the senior. They all look up to her for leadership, momentum.
And when she's on, does a double front dismount, blind landing. A little bit of over rotation there. But those are those .025 marks that Coach Duckworth is talking to her team about. Those landings, those steps here and there. That's the last thing the judges see.
Back over on vault, Amanda Bowman got the 9.8 as Jada Lawrence is up next.
Watched her warm up, a really powerful athlete. Does the ever so popular Yurchenko full. A little bit of leg separation, but she gets height and amplitude and position in the air. Could be cleaned up a little bit.
She's one of 3 seniors on the team.
Nice position in the air.
One of the top Big 12 vaulters, and you can see why.
Yeah. Just really kind of going after that landing. A little timid there.
On bars for Alabama, Amanda Jetter, the junior. Before her, Ariana Guerra with a 9.850. She's coming off of an injury. This was a day of decision.
Absolutely, has been working back. Had a really nice routine on Friday against Auburn, and you see a little lag there. You've got to wait for the judges to raise that green flag to let you know that they're ready for you to mount the apparatus, as she does there. Nice handstand. She's a very aggressive bar worker. As you see there on her release move, she really goes after her handstands. A little overshoot handstand there. Transition to the high bar. Another athlete that has a blind landing, so we have 2 in a row. See if she can fight for that landing, and she does. Just the slightest hop back. Coach Fischilla really enjoying that double front dismount.
Next on vault. Take another look at that.
Really clean lines you see here on the dismount. Legs glued together. That'll be a solid score.
Zakira Muhammad just went on vault. Sophomore out of New Jersey. She got her experience from TNT Elite Gymnastics.
And it was a good vault. Her teammates erupted here. Big, big amplitude and just drills that landing. That's going to be a big score for West Virginia on the vault.
Kiana Winston, who got a 9.9 on vault, now steps up to the bar. She's averaging a 9.861.
See a lot of gymnasts opting just for the simple mounts to the bars. Huge release move. Some of the best lines that you'll see. Her toe point is just beautiful. She transitions there at Pac Salto. She'll get the combination for that. Nice handstand here. Double layout dismount. And lands just a little straight-legged. She definitely has the ability to stick that. Not very many deductions in that routine. Gearing up again for the dismount, double layout. just kind of pikes down a little bit and lands a little lock-legged. But other than that, there's not going to be much to deduct in that routine.
On the vault, the last scores were 9-8 and 9-9 as Jackie Tunn.
This was
that's Kira Koshinski.
And this was a meet time decision. It was all based on how she warmed up. She has the ability to do the Yurchenko 1.5.
The only one on the team with
and
the
she
1.5.
does it and drills it, just a step. That's a nice vault.
The coaches are really excited about her. Just a freshman out of Pennsylvania. Coach Butt said he's so excited about the energy and skill that she brings.
Absolutely, you see that. Form is good, amplitude is good. Just a little bit on the landing there she gave away. That'll be a solid score for them.
She's really happy with that one. Katie Bailey will anchor the bars for Alabama. She was a first-team uneven bars All-American and finished 5th on bars at the NCAA championship last year.
Scored 9.9 last week, and you'll see why. She's a very calm and smooth bar worker. She's very light, even on the uneven bars. You can see it, and you'll see that transfer to some of her other events as well. Hits every single handstand and does a amazing full-out dismount, and she has the ability to stick that. It's almost like clockwork, so a little uncharacteristic for her to over-rotate that dismount.
We talked to Coach Duckworth after the first rotation. We will talk to Coach Butts coming up next. After 2 rotations, Alabama leads West Virginia by a little over 4/10 of a point, one on both vault and bars, as Ashley has Coach Butts.
Coach, talk about how you feel the team has done up to this point.
You know, right now I'm really thrilled with them. So had a little bit of a rough bar rotation for us. You know, Jordan falling was pretty uncharacteristic for her, but they came back. We got our season high so far on vault, so really thrilled right now.
Great. Talk about Zakira on vault. I mean, 1.5. That was great.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and just nailing the landing like that. You know, like I said, season high on vault, and we're just hoping to take some of this energy into floor. The team's really pumped. The crowd is amazing, so we're excited.
Good deal. I know you mentioned that the team almost warmed up too good, but how do you think they're, you know, reacting to this environment?
I think they're just building off the electricity in this crowd. You know, their confidence is up. They're having a good time with it. And, yep, I know I said that about warm-ups, but right now, knock on wood, I'm going to take it.
Good deal. We're going to see some of those E-level passes over on floor here in a minute?
Yep, we got them coming up, so we're ready to go.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back.
Thanks, Ashley. Definitely looking forward to seeing West Virginia on floor. Wednesday, we've got another college basketball doubleheader on the SEC ESPN network, and it starts at 7 Eastern with Bruce Pearl and the Auburn Tigers in Fayetteville to take on the Hogs, led by Hannah, Bell, and Kingsley. Then at 9, it's the Wonder from Down Under, Ben Simmons and LSU hosting the Tide in Baton Rouge. Both games are streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Big Ben is averaging 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. He also has 15 double-doubles this season. Third rotation. Scores after rotation 1. Alabama won the vault 4.9275. West Virginia on bars with a 4.8875. On bars, Alabama with a 4.9275. West Virginia on vault 4.9225. Alabama leads by a little over 4/10 of a point.
Yeah, and believe it or not, this is actually a pretty close meet between the number 4 ranked and number 24 ranked team. So West Virginia, Coach Butt's really happy as to how his team started, and they're looking forward to taking in this environment and performing on floor.
Muhammad won the vault with a 9.850. What did you think about her vault?
I thought her vault was a beautiful vault. She got good amplitude. You know, just really just a classic example of a powerful vaulter. One of those that if she gets this, so you see it here in the replay, I mean, she gets the amplitude, she gets the height, and drills that landing.
And Amanda Jeter took the bar score with a 9.875.
She did, and really what it boils down to, she had one of the cleanest landings that we've seen tonight from both teams, landing blindly on that double front dismount and stuck it.
There's a look at the Alabama bar scores led by Amanda Jeter, Mackenzie Brannon with a 9.875 as well. Ariana Guerra, 9.8, Lauren Beers, 9.825, Kiana Winston, 9.85, and Kaylee Bailey in the anchor spot with a 9.8.
No athletes for Alabama tonight breaking that 9.9 score mark, but still, overall as a team, a pretty solid bar score. They definitely have the ability to do a little bit better.
West Virginia vault scores: Robin Bernard, 9.875, Amanda Bowman, 9.8, Sarah Moore with the 9.675. That one will be dropped. Jada Lawrence, 9.8, Zakira Muhammad, 9.9, and Kira Koshinski, 9.850.
And that 49.225 for them on the vault. I think that's got to be a season high team score for them on the vault. They really took advantage of this environment and went after some stuck landings. A 9.9 for Zakira, and we saw her vault. So they've got to be excited with how they're coming out of the gates here in Tuscaloosa.
Weekdays, ESPN Radio's Paul Feinbaum shares compelling opinions on SEC football through a deep knowledge of the conference and interaction with passionate callers that have followed him for years. The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 p.m. on the SEC ESPN Network, streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Back here in Coleman, Ashley, I don't know if you noticed this, but they've changed the layout. It's more of the NCAA championship SEC's layout, and it was back when Coach Duckworth was an athlete here. This was the layout as well.
Yes, so I've never seen it this way, but they say that back in the day, like you said, when Coach Duckworth was actually competing, that this was the layout. She wanted to just try something new and maybe get some, more seats, on the side coming in. So, of course, it puts Alabama as the home team a little bit further away from the 10 troop that you used to kind of see and cheering them on. But I think the layout looks nice.
Yeah, it puts the floor right in the middle of the spotlight. We'll take a look at the floor lineup for West Virginia. Leading things off will be Melissa Idell, followed by Jordan Gillette, Zakira Muhammad, Kira Kershinsky, Tierra Wright, and Alexa Goldberg in that anchor spot. But we will start with Mackenzie Brannon on beam. She will lead things off, followed by Lauren Beers, Keely McNear, Asia Sims, Katie Bailey, and Nikki Guerrero.
Brandon again used to this leadoff spot.
Averaging 9.8 on beam this season. She's been struggling with some shin splints, so coach also was questionable about her today.
That handspring layout flight series there, nice and solid. She's one of the more calm beam workers, and ever so often you might even see her with a little smile.
So focused.
Switch leap, nice amplitude and good position on that leap combination. There's that smile. Required full turn. You'll see every athlete do that in some manner. It is a requirement. And sometimes can be one of the most difficult things. Kick over front to a beat jump. Nice and square. Round off 1.5, just a small hop on the landing. Good lead off for Alabama on balance beam. Kick over front, very difficult, but you see how she moves from one skill to the next. She gets bonus for that combination. And just the dismount here, 1.5, and just a little hop.
On floor for West Virginia will be Melissa Idell. Coach told us she has one of the cleanest floor routines on the team. She's just one of 3 seniors.
That's right. You see her average in the 9.7 range. Not quite on the higher end of the scoring spectrum, but we'll see here how clean she can be, and hopefully she can give away as little as possible here on this routine. First pass, front handspring front double twist. Very nicely executed. She actually made that first pass look easy. 1.5 twist back layout. Again, executed very nicely. I could see why coach would say that about her. See, at this point in the season, you got your teammates that can stand close to the floor. When you get into postseason, sometimes they'll be kind of corralled away. So just that last pass left. Front 1.5, which is also known as a Rudy. So not the most difficult routine, but she really executes everything very nice.
Yes, she did. Senior has a lot of experience with calm, composure, especially in an environment like this in Coleman Coliseum.
Take another look at that last pass here. A front handspring to a 1.5 twist, a little bit of leg separation.
For Alabama on the balance beat, Lauren Beers.
9.825 for Mackenzie Brannon. Lauren Beers averaging a 9.704 will take her turn at the beam. She leads the team with 22 appearances in Alabama competition.
And Lauren Beers, she's really one of those athletes that on every single event has the ability to score big. She struggled a little bit on beam this year, but she's had some major high points as well, as you see there, you know, kind of coming off. So she's still at this point in the season really has to kind of try to find a way to stay focused.
She had a misstep on vault, a pretty big step on her dismount with bars, and now falling on beam.
That's right. So she won't want to give
Focus
anything
is just
else
a little
away.
off today.
There's that required full turn.
Puts a little extra pressure on the rest.
It definitely does at this early in the lineup. I mean, the first competitor, obviously, you know you want to hit, and that's usually why they're in that spot. And you would like to ideally build with every competitor. So a little bit of extra pressure for each athlete coming after her after this. It's going to be ideal that they hit, because this is a relatively close meet at this point as well. Just the dismount left, 1.5 twist, giving nothing away on that. Side summy there, and you can see she just isn't really quite finished. Almost tries to stand up just a little too soon before she's even done, and gets her hips out of line. And nice combination here. But once again, just a little bit of a balance check there at the end, giving away those tenths.
9.750 for Melissa Idell, as Jordan Gillette will do her floor routine, averaging a 9.7 this season.
Has the ability to score higher than a 9.8, her career high, 9.85. Double pike, first pass. Teammates really cheering her on for this second pass. Nice double tuck. Chest up on the landing, stays in bounds, nice and clean. Floor is one of those events that's so fun for the fans to watch, because you can kind of see the personality of every athlete kind of coming out. You hear her music, it's powerful and strong and a little more intense, and you'll have the athletes that are a little more playful and fun and flirting with the judges on the side.
And the dance segment of it, is that just so they can rest in between passes?
Sometimes it's all collectively a part of their score, the artistry. Judges can take off if there's not enough of it, and that's a huge blast pass, does it nice and clean. And this will actually be a really good score. I think that they're going to come up on that 196 mark if they keep this up. you get a chance to take a look at all her passes here. This is the first, the double pike, chest up, legs glued together. In the second one, she'll do that same skill, but in a tucked position. Same nice landing, and then she just closes us out a 1.5 front layout. Nice clean landings, not giving anything away.
A 9.3 for Lauren Beers on the beam after that fall. Keely McNear averaging 9.868 this season. She's one of those competitors that likes to lead off. Coach Duckworth said that she continuously says, Coach, I want to leave off. I got this. I want to set the tone.
That's right. She's in a little bit of a different position tonight on this event. But doing a really good job. I mean, she's an aggressive beam worker. And as we talked about earlier with Lauren Beers falling, there's a little bit of extra added pressure for her to kind of get this team back on track in this lineup. Flight series, back handspring layout. Really going after this routine aggressively. You can see it in her dance moves and all her movements. Switch leap, split jump, nice amplitude.
She gets set for the dismount here.
She'll do a 1.5. And just like on the vault, she fights for that landing. Front aerial there to a back handspring. She'll get bonus for that combination. Nice and square, moves through it like it's easy. Then her flight series, back handspring layout. A little bit of a balance check there at the end, but she covers it up well. She kept moving out of it.
A 9.825 for Jordan Gillette as Zakira Muhammad, averaging 9.785 this season. And Coach Butts told us that she has the wow factor on floor, so look for that here.
We already saw it over on the vault with the huge amplitude. I'm guessing her tumbling is no different. Front step out to a huge double tuck and sticks that landing. West Virginia having a really good time here competing at Coleman Coliseum.
And again with the new layout, they are right smack dab in the center.
Very high energy routine. You can tell she's one of those people that performs floor. Good jump combination there. Nice amplitude and positions on all of those jump skills and combinations. Judges will look for that. Double pike, second pass, another good landing. And as you see, she has the 4-inch landing mat there. And that is actually okay as long as they put the tape on the borders so that if they go out of bounds, the judges can see. Good routine for her. Nice jump combination. You see every single one, she lands square on it. And then here on this last pass, a huge double pike. Coach Butts back there loves what he just saw.
A lot of energy from that West Virginia team. Asia Sims from Orlando, Florida. Before her, Keely McNear got a 9.9. Now Sims is back in the lineup. She's coming off a rotator cuff surgery.
So with the rotator cuff surgery, probably affects her a little more on bars than on this particular event here. But Coach Duckworth talked about Asia having multiple versions of this beam routine, and depending on what's going on in the lineup, as you see there, solid flight series, you know, they'll decide which version that she will do, and it usually comes down to the dismount. She has what Dana described as a little guy.
The little guy.
She has the ability to do one of the more difficult dismounts, a double tuck, so we'll see if she does it here tonight. Or if she does the little guy. It's looking like she's gonna do the double tuck. And again, drills that landing. Awesome, awesome job from Asia on that routine. Difficult dismount, double tuck, and drills it just a little bit off to the side. it'll be a tiny deduction. You see Lauren Beers here who had the fall earlier, and Coach Priscilla really liking what they saw.
When she does do the double tuck dismount, Coach told us it's one of the most difficult dismounts on beam in collegiate gymnastics.
It is. You'll see a lot of the athletes do a little kick off the side or...
Kira Koshinski, freshman from Berwick, Pennsylvania.
Very powerful athlete. We saw her on vault do that 1.5, the only one for West Virginia. Watched her warmed up. Floor is no different, has a huge double layout. E-level tumbling passes for this West Virginia team.
Coach said he's been using those E-level passes in all 5 of his meets so far.
That's right.
He was really excited about it.
He was, said that this team warmed up very, very nice, and it looks like he was a little worried because they warmed up so well, but they seem to be doing a good job. 1.5 to a front layout, nice position in the air, and good landing. Really playing to the crowd here for this dance portion of the routine. Good jump combination, a little stumble there on that last jump.
She gets set for her final pass. We should see a double pike here.
She's really, really cranking it around, double pike. A little bit short on the landing. You can see running into it that she was a little tired. She has some amazing tumbling. We'll see here the big, huge double layout. Doesn't get any better than that. And here on the last pass, just a little short on this double pike. You see the legs buckle right there. So that'll be a deduction. She probably just gave a little bit away on that last pass.
On balance beam, a 9.95 by Asia Sims. It's Katie Bailey averaging 9.85. Get set for her beam performance. Coach told us that she is known for her grace on the balance beam, and part of that is she's a tall gymnast.
She is. She's one of the taller athletes on the team. But another thing about her, like we saw her on the bars earlier. Look, just see how light she is on the balance beam as well when she does her skills. Very quiet beam worker, but one of the more consistent athletes for Alabama. That handspring layout there, nice and square.
What goes through your mind when you're up there on the beam?
Well, it's different for every single athlete. As you can see, some are more aggressive, like we saw earlier in the lineup. You see Katie Bailey is a little more fluid and going through the motions, but a lot of times athletes have key thoughts that they'll say for each move, whether it's lift or tight or
what were your key
something
thoughts?
Like that. I had numbers. I counted. I was a 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of gal. Nice jump combination there.
Whatever works. Keeps you focused.
That's right.
Katie Bailey will get set for her dismount.
And Alabama really putting on a show here on the balance beam after Beers' fall. Double twist and sticks the landing. That's going to be a big score for Alabama.
So far, 9.75, 9.825, 9.3 from Beers, 9.9, and 9.95. That'll certainly be in the 9.9 range as well.
Watch this dismount, double twist, and she just nails it. Does not go anywhere in the team, and the crowd goes wild for that. So important. That's the last thing that the judges see is that landing.
Tiara Wright on floor for West Virginia, averaging a 9.313 this season. She's from Wilmington, Delaware. Got her experience at National Gym Center Club.
Double tuck to open up and sticks it. That's a little bit of extra flair. Simple double tuck to open up, but the fact that she didn't have to step back, she just stayed where she was. Pretty amazing. With the way this team is building off of one another, she could very well beat her career high of a 9.775. Gearing up for that second pass. Taking a little extra time. Does a 2.5 twist, and it looks like she did go out of bounds. So she'll take the deduction there on that. Unfortunately, beautiful positioning in the air, though, for that second pass.
Her music's a little bit softer, more elegant.
It is. She's got really long legs, long lines, kind of play into that a little bit with this choreography as well. She's really, really, I think, a little winded here at the end, you can see. Front layout, front full. Nice close for her. Unfortunately, she stepped out of bounds there on that second pass. But opens up with a huge, just double tuck. See here, she just nails it, does not move. That's a little flare. That's going to get some artistry points there. And then here on the second half, 2.5, step. Oop, and she didn't go out of bounds. But it's almost, she probably took a few more deductions with the extra steps, but she fought to stay inside the lines.
Nikki Guerrero up on beam for Alabama. She will follow back-to-back 995s by Asia Sims and Katie Bailey. Now, Nikki is a unique gymnast. Coach calls her the spark of the team. She's got this big personality. And one thing that Coach Duckworth did tell us about Nikki on the beam is that she's Houdini. She hides things that are unreal. Coach Duckworth said, I don't even know how she does it half the time.
And she's got the only 3 flight series we'll see, the handspring layout. Very difficult. A lot of gymnasts will opt not to do that because of the difficulty, and the margin for error is so small. But Nikki, she just gets after it. Like you said, Coach Duckworth says that she has that attitude like, I am not falling, it is not an option. And she doesn't tend to notice, or it doesn't affect her if an athlete falls before her. She is going to go out there and hit this routine.
She gets set for her dismount.
She'll have a blind landing as well. 1.5. Just the slightest hop on that landing. But good routine for Nikki Guerrero. Take another look at this flight series. Back handspring, layout. Right on. The dismount here, 1.5. Just a little bit of extra rotation, has to take the little hop, but that'll be another big score for Alabama, and they are putting on a show on beam.
Freshman Alexa Goldberg averaging a 9.833. Will anchor out floor for the Mountaineers.
Coach said Goldberg has been out for 2 weeks with strained ankles, so we'll see how she does tonight. Back full in to open up. She made that look really easy. She is normally an alternate on this event. 1.5 twist to a back layout. Nice amplitude on that lead combination as well.
Coach Butts told us that she is a beautiful dancer. Loves to watch the dance portion of her routine.
Very calm floor worker. You see some are more bubbly personality, hoppy, some powerful. This is really just kind of fluid. She's going through these dance moves, gearing up for her last pass. This could be a big score for her if she can nail this. Double tuck. And drills it.
This was her first floor routine in 2 weeks because she was out with strained ankles. They didn't want her competing on floor. She did an excellent job.
She really did. That's going to be a huge score for West Virginia to close out their floor lineup. Take a look at some of her tumbling. She's got the other E-level pass, a tuck full in, a little bit of leg separation, but the amplitude and height is there. And that middle pass, a front 1.5 to back layout, nice and clean floor routine for her.
Well, 3 rotations out of 4 complete for West Virginia versus Alabama. And Asia Sims with a 9.95 on beam. Rotation 4 coming up next.
Roll, time, roll!
Alabama leads after 3 rotations, and we talked about 49. That's the benchmark. West Virginia did reach that 49 on floor.
They did a 49-1. They have got to be excited with breaking that 49 total team score on the floor exercise. They had some really dynamic tumbling. Really took advantage of the crowd tonight and played to it and got that score.
Overall, what else have you seen in this meet so far?
I think I've seen 2 teams that have really done a good job with some new lineups, some changes, and come out here and made some solid performances. The crowd is into it. West Virginia's feeling it. Alabama's feeling it after a dynamic 49-5-5 on the beam and 2 big scores. So
that was amazing on beam. Back-to-back 9-9-5s. How hard is it to come out with such big scores on beam, especially after Lauren Beers' fall?
Beam is the event that wins national championships all the time. So when it comes down to it, after Lauren Beers falls, for those athletes to be able to come back and score like they did, that was amazing.
Katie Bailey was one of those 9-9-5s on beam. We'll take a look back at her performance.
Talked about how light she is on the beam. This dismount was no different. Double twist, just kind of floats down and does not move.
And Zakira Muhammad on floor with a 9-8-5.
Very powerful athlete, as we saw earlier on vault. Double pike to open up, or to close out there, actually, and just a really good floor lineup for West Virginia.
So there's those scores again from rotation 3. Alabama on beam with a 4-9-5-5, and West Virginia with a 4-9-1 on floor. And again, Coach wanted to meet that 49 benchmark.
That's right.
We take a look at the Alabama beam scores. Brandon with a 9-8-2-5. Lauren Beers the fall, the 9-3 that will be dropped. Keely McNear 9-9. Asia Sims 9-5.
Really, really good beam rotation, as you saw there. The 6 athletes, we hadn't talked about this, 6 athletes go on each event and they drop the lowest scores, so 5 scores count.
West Virginia on floor, Melissa Idell, the 9-7-5. Jordan Gillette, 9-8-2-5. Zakira Muhammad, 9-8-5-0. Kira Kuczynski, 9-8-2-5. Tiara Wright, 9-7-2-5. Alexa Goldberg with a 9-8-5-0.
So they'll be able
Tiara's right.
They'll be able to drop that 9-7-2-5. That's right.
Rotation 4 when we come back. Couple of upsets this week. Like we talked about Friday, number 8 Auburn upset number 4 Alabama. Georgia knocks off number 5 LSU, and Kentucky picks up their first SEC win of the season over Missouri.
And that just goes back to how we talked earlier about how difficult of a conference this is. You had that 117 meet streak that Alabama had going against Auburn, but every single year the gap between those 2 teams got closer and closer. You know, Georgia knocking off a really solid, very talented LSU team, and Kentucky coach getting their first in-conference win against defeating Missouri. So some great stuff happening around the SEC.
We talked before the meet how much improved SEC gymnastics is becoming, and it's just so strong, so fun to watch.
It is.
Thursday, we've got a great night of women's college basketball for you, starting at 7 Eastern. It's Michaela Epps, Janae Thompson, and number 18 Kentucky taking on Victoria Vivens and number 11 Mississippi State. Then at 9, LSU is matched up against Courtney Walker and the number 15 Aggies. Both games are streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. West Virginia getting ready for beam as they're in the final moments of the touch period here. We'll take a look at their starting lineup.
Leading off on balance beam for West Virginia,
Leading off will be Alexa Goldberg, followed by Melissa Idell, Audrey Tolbert, Sarah Moore, Carly Galpin, and Jordan Gillette.
Coach Butts said they've got her in this lead-off position because they trust her the most. They have the most faith in her to start them off the way that they want with a hit routine. So we'll see how she can do in this environment here, large crowd in the leadoff spot. The chance to get a pretty big score for them. So
averaging 9.62 on beam this season, and Coach told us that she is, I mentioned it before, but their top athlete, the top gymnast on this team. Junior from Ivyland, Pennsylvania. She gymnastics experience from Central Bucks Gymnastics.
Starts off with her dance combination, switch leap, straddle jump, beat jump, nice combination. Nice combination there, back layout, beat jump. Here's that required full turn. So far, living up to the expectations of this leadoff spot for this West Virginia team. Just the dismount left. Nice front full, simple, easy dismount, drills the landing, but gets him off to a solid start.
Starting off on floor will be Asia Sims from Orlando. Her coach at club was Brandy Johnson. You might remember Brandy was a 1988 Olympian and one of the great U.S. gymnasts of all time. So Asia definitely got a lot of experience, and I'm sure we'll see some of those techniques
For
tonight.
sure, Asia is a really fun athlete to watch on this event in front of this home crowd. It's about to get loud.
One thing that Coach Duckworth says when it comes to floor, she talks about the salsa. And at the beginning of this season, it's light salsa and then medium salsa. And as you get towards the end of the regular season, she'll pick it up to high salsa.
That's right. So I think this is probably hot salsa, then we'll get to extra hot. Asia really enjoys competing on this event.
Facial expressions are so big. You can definitely tell that she's just having fun doing it.
And this Alabama team, the way they compete on the floor, for them, even though it's nice to be here in this home crowd, they don't care if they're here at home or if they're on the road. They're going to have just as much expression playing to the crowd no matter what arena they're in, and that's something that you can credit to Coach Duckworth. They train that every single day. Solid second pass for Asia. Has some of the most beautiful leaps and jumps. Her amplitude is amazing. Her leap positions are awesome. She's got really great flexibility, and it shows. Just that last pass to go, double tuck, and nailed the landing. Alabama has the opportunity to put up a huge floor score here if they can hit all their routines. Good start for Alabama. Look at Asia's first pass. She does a double pike, legs glued together, nails it. And it's always fun to watch the team on the sidelines doing the choreographer along with her. Really getting into it.
9.725 for Alexa Goldberg as Melissa Idell comes up to beam, averaging a 9.433 on beam this season. Senior from Newark, Delaware, got her experience from First State Gymnastics Club.
And we saw her already on the floor exercise, the last rotation, where we talked about how clean she was. She led them off solidly in the second spot on the balance beam. So far, so good. It's a front aerial, and really fought and covered that balance check up well. She'll take a slight deduction, but she didn't give much away, even with the mistake. Is that required full turn? Switch leap, split jump. Another thing you'll see every athlete do, which she has already done, is coming down to the level of the balance beam. That's another requirement. And you'll see lots of creative ways that athletes will actually do it. Taking a little extra time here for this dismount, tumbles into it, but handspring layout full off the end. Nice combination, drills the landing. chooses to tumble into her dismount, but handspring layout, full twist, a little pike down there, but she does nail it. And coach really, really calm and collective in his reaction to that dismount. She hit that routine.
Angelina Giancroce will follow a 9.825 by Asia Sims. She's averaging a 9.788 this season. Her season best is a 9.875 when they went down to Gainesville and competed against Florida.
And she's another one of the athletes on this Alabama team that is really fun to watch. She's got some really, really good dancing ability. A lot of that stems from the elite training at the club level. Really kind of sets you up for that. And unfortunately, huge double pike, she steps out of bounds there. So that will be a deduction, unfortunately, for her on this routine. Switch side, straddle full. Coach Duckworth talked about how Alabama has yet, in this point in the season, they've put together strong team totals on each event, but never all together in one meet. We still haven't had that yet.
They were wanting to see 4 strong routines on all 4 apparatuses today. That was the goal.
That's correct. As it gets closer to postseason, you'll start to see more consistent presence in the lineup and how they're positioned. You want them to peak at the right time. Just the last pass here. Double tug, and just doesn't have enough juice to get it all the way around. You could see right from the beginning, even running into the pass. So hopefully a score that Alabama will be able to drop on the floor. So 2 pretty big mistakes in this routine. The first one here on this huge double pike, over rotates and steps out of bounds. And then on this last one, just doesn't quite get the lift. You see there in the front, she just cuts it short and comes up short.
Aubrey Tolbert, senior from Frederick, Maryland, steps up to the beam. She's averaging a 9.715. She follows a 9.675 by Melissa Idell. And that 9.6 comes from that almost falling. She had to overcorrect herself.
That's right. Talking about the 3 seniors, her being one of the 3 on this West Virginia team, Coach Butts talked about how they're all so completely different as far as personalities go, but he challenged each one of them to kind of come up with a personality for the team together, and he said they did a really good job of doing that as a senior class, and it's worked for this team.
He said it's his best senior class he's ever had because of those personalities, the 3 completely different personalities. Somehow it just works.
That's right. That's right. And I think we're seeing a little bit of that tonight here. Switch leap, straddle quarter. Deep jump, wolf jump. Very simple combination, but executes it flawlessly. Just a dismount left, a really simple dismount, running punch front full off the end. Just a small hop. Stays on the beam, that is important.
Coach Butts happy with that one. Angelina Giancroce, 9.15 with those 2 big missteps on the floor, and Mackenzie Valentine will follow that score. The junior from Mustang, Oklahoma, her specialty is floor, averaging a 9.850 this season.
She has some unique tumbling that we'll see here in a second. Strong front tumbler. Just watch how much power and speed she gets into this first pass. Just a running punch, double front. Keeps it in bounds. She'll immediately turn right into her second. Front layout, front full. Nice and clean second pass. There she goes, having fun now with the choreography piece. this floor lineup is one that Coach Duckworth has really played around with this season. 14 different athletes have competed. That's amazing, the depth that they have, but she's really trying to kind of hone in at this point in the season and figure out who you want out there at the end of the season.
She called this her funky lineup today, and it just shows the depth that Alabama has, and Coach Duckworth told us that she doesn't take that for granted. She knows that depth can really win some close meets.
And it can be gone in a second. The last pass, round up the handspring, huge double pike, just kind of floats out of the sky on it. So good comeback after the fall before her. Crowd really likes that performance from Valentin. See this first pass here, she just runs, and gets all that power into a front double tuck. And then last, she can tumble backwards as well. Huge double pike. Nice landing. Coach Priscilla really getting into that.
A 9-8 on beam by Audrey Tolbert. Sarah Moore averaging a 9.712. She's one of 6 freshmen.
She's another one of the taller athletes as well. So this West Virginia team, really nice lines. Fun to watch. Back handspring layout. The slightest of slightest balance checks, but she stays on the balance beam and really covered it up quite nicely. There's that required full turn. This West Virginia team on the balance beam is very vocal. They have not stopped talking to her. Oh, on that side aerial there, she doesn't quite get enough amplitude or power to have her chest up so she can get square and comes off there. Split jump.
West Virginia only has 1 fall this season on beam, so that makes number 2.
That's right, they've only had to count, I think, 1, and just again there on the dismount, she got a little ahead of herself, tried to lift up before she actually came down. So a little disappointed in that, you can tell by her face, but there's that fall. As you see, she never even has a chance to really get her chest up. She's square right when that foot hits the beam.
For Alabama on the floor, Ari Guerra.
She's disappointed in that performance.
Back over on the floor, Ari Guerra for Alabama. The freshman from League City, Texas, averaging 9.775 on floor.
Watched her warm up, and this is a really fun routine. Very powerful athlete. Low center of gravity, but she really can tumble. She can fly.
This will be her 3rd time competing on floor for Alabama. She posted a 9.9 in her debut against Missouri.
Huge double tuck. Nice simple opening pass, but she executes it with a perfect landing. And with this lineup and these athletes for Alabama on the floor exercise, this is the 3rd time for both of these teams competing in 8 days. So there's definitely a little bit of they could be a little tired.
Fatigue.
That's right. So they've kind of mixed it up to give some athletes that are going week in and week out some rest, and having opportunities for this athlete here to get in the lineup, show what they can do.
You go on the road to Auburn Friday, come back home Sunday. Definitely, we talked about depth. You have to have depth to be able to maintain that focus and energy level.
That's right. Speaking of energy, let's see if she has enough to get that around, and she does. Huge double piped in. Actually chooses to put one of her more difficult passes last.
Team is happy with that one.
Absolutely. First pass, huge double tuck, just falls out of the sky. Double pike last. Another good solid landing.
On beam, Sarah Moore with the 9.125 after falling. And now we see Tiara Wright, freshman from Wilmington, Delaware.
And you can already see she's a little bit more of an aggressive beam worker, really kind of going after it. That handspring swing down, comes to the level of the beam. Different combination.
This was a last-minute change by Coach Butts. He had Carly Galpin at the 5 spot. This is Tiara Wright.
Right. Switched it up on us a little bit.
He told us he could do that. He said it was, a lot of his lineup was day of, how they warmed up.
Kick over pike front. And she made that look really easy. Most athletes you'll see do that in a tuck position. She just does it in a pike. Gain her back pike off the end and doesn't give anything away on the landing. She's really happy with that performance. She did a good job.
Hugs all around for the Mountaineers.
See here that front aerial, back handspring swing down. Nice and square on that skill.
9.8 by Mackenzie Valentine. 9.85 by Ariana Guerra. And now we see Kiana Winston averaging a 9.863 on floor this season.
Double pike first pass. And she makes this look so easy. You have to pay attention to how beautiful Kiana's jumps are. She has, no joke, some of the most beautiful jump combinations. Well, she's getting ready for her second pass here. Front layout, front pull. Watch this. Switch ring to a switch side half. Nice flexibility all the way down to the toe point. You'll see right there, just moving right through those skills. Showing some good artistry. Kiana's been one of the most consistent competitors on this event for Alabama this year. Double tuck, last pass. Great routine from Kiana. You see how high she gets on her passes, nice and clean, double pike, a little over rotation on that actually. The judges could take a few tenths here and there. She moves her dance combinations on the floor. Real fun to watch. Really fun to watch her compete.
Back over on the beam. Tiara Wright got a 9.725. Now Jordan Gillette averaging 9.575 is up in the anchor position for West Virginia.
Actually has the ability to break that 9.8 mark, her career high, a 9.85.
Now this is a great story. Her club coach at WGym told Coach Butts she would never compete on beam at a collegiate level. She nailed her first ever routine with a 9.875 a couple meets ago at Iowa. Now she's anchoring the beam lineup.
Anchoring, which means she's pretty dang good at the balance beam. There's a 3-flight series.
Might have jinxed her a little bit.
Unfortunately there, just kind of got a little off center. It looks like she'll take some time, gather herself.
Tough it out.
One thing that's fun about competing at Alabama for opposing teams that aren't used to this type of environment, Alabama has some of the most educated gymnastics fans in the country. They know when something is good, when they like somebody, and they
really get into it too.
And they'll pull for an athlete from an opposite team.
You can tell on her face she's definitely in some pain.
She's really having a hard time. She just needs to take a second, gather herself, and get ready for this dismount. You see Coach Butts scooting in a little bit for her. Oh. 1.5 twists.
She landed it though.
And I don't know that if she's hurt or if she's just upset, you know, for the fall. You hate to see that. take another look here on the fall. Back handspring, back handspring. You see right there at the end, she just kind of comes off her feet. That second foot, when it comes down right here, slips off. She's not able to.
Landed on that shoulder.
That's right.
That right shoulder. Lauren Beers, senior, averaging 9.825, will anchor for Alabama. Following a 9.9 from Kiana Winston.
Big first opening pass, double way out, stays in bounds. Coach Rochelle likes it.
Lauren Beers is a 3-time regular season All-American. Does exceptional work out of the gym as well.
Breaking down into her dance portion of her routine. Coming back from that fall earlier in the third rotation on the balance beam, putting together a nice, solid floor routine. Just the last pass left for Lauren Beers. This could potentially be a huge score. Close out their floor lineup. Closes out with a huge double top and just nails it.
Beautiful routine. Coach Duckworth happy about that one, trying to get the crowd into it.
She's telling the fans, get on your feet if you liked it. One of the most beautiful double layouts that you'll see. Legs glued together. Amplitude, heights there, and watch Coach Duckworth's reaction. She likes what she sees, and then she turns around and says, get into it, stand up.
Super animated, Coach. He's got to be proud with this performance here. We'll have final scores for you from West Virginia versus Alabama coming up next on the SEC Network. Take a look at our final scores of the evening. Alabama beat West Virginia here in Coleman Coliseum on Valentine's Day. Final score was 197.375 to 195.250, and Alabama highest score was 49.55 on the beam.
Yeah, kind of the highlight of this meet here tonight is that the high scores for Alabama on beam. You had Katie Bailey and Asia Sims put up huge numbers. In West Virginia, they did not hit that 196 team total, but 49.225 on vault and 49.1 on floor. I mean, they have to be happy with those performances. Unfortunately, they gave a little bit away and had to counterfall on beam.
So looking at these numbers, Coach Duckworth for Alabama wanted full 4 rotations. Do you think that she got that tonight?
I don't think it's probably quite up to the standards of what she would like to see during the postseason, but I do think they definitely made improvements coming off that loss to in-state rival Auburn on Friday. Maybe being a little bit tired here tonight for both teams. Like we talked about already, you know, road warriors for West Virginia. This is both teams' third competition in 8 days. So they both did a really good job considering.
So for Ashley Grieg, I'm Hannah Chalker saying so long from Tuscaloosa. Alabama defeated number 24 West Virginia. A program reminder, our next telecast on the SEC Plus Network will be Friday as the Alabama baseball team opens the season against Maryland at 7:30 Eastern. To watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of the SEC ESPN Network.